Welcome back to the Sacred Journey series, our mystical journey to the sacred sites on our beautiful planet. As you know, this is a series of meditation stories. Therefore, please only listen to this recording when you can relax fully and safely. If you're driving, operating machinery, or need your full attention elsewhere, save this for another time. Episode 6, The Mystery Schools, the Temple of the Mind. Welcome back, beautiful soul. I'm so glad you have returned. We've been to the Giza Plateau. We've lain in the King's Chamber and felt the resonance of the most precisely built structure on earth moving through our bones. We've carried home a golden ankh and the understanding that every breath we take is the eternal passing through us. Tonight we go deeper into Egypt, not to the plateau, not to the monuments that stand in the open air for all the world to see. Tonight we go inside, into the mystery schools, the hidden universities of the ancient world, the places where, for thousands of years, the most gifted and devoted seekers of every generation were taken aside and taught the most extraordinary thing the ancient world knew: how to master your own mind. Settle in now completely. Let your body find its deepest ease, every muscle releasing, your weight surrendering fully. Allow your eyes to gently close. Breathe in and out, letting everything soften. Your body knows how to do this now. It remembers, and each time it goes a little deeper, releases a little more, arrives a little more fully in the peace that is always there, waiting beneath the surface of the ordinary day. Feel the familiar lightness, the gentle expansion, the analytical mind softening, releasing, until all that remains is the vast, luminous, perfectly coherent part of you that knows how to travel. And now your mind rises up and out into the warm Egyptian night. The Nile is below you again, silver and ancient. But tonight you don't follow it to Giza. Tonight you travel further south, deeper into the valley, to the great temple complexes of Karnak and Luxor, to the sacred precincts where, for thousands of years, the initiates of the mystery schools underwent their training. You drift down through the night air and find yourself standing before a great gateway. Two enormous pillars of stone rising against the stars, their surfaces covered in hieroglyphs. A teacher is waiting for you at the gate. She is tall and still and wrapped in white linen, her eyes lined with kohl. She leads you inside. The mystery schools were not mystical in the way we sometimes imagine. They were ruthlessly practical. The initiates who came here were taught with extraordinary rigor and over many years to understand the nature of consciousness itself. They were taught that the mind is not a passive receiver of experience, but an active creator of it. That thought, focused with sufficient clarity and emotion, sends ripples outwards into the field of reality in the same way that a stone dropped in still water sends ripples outwards across the surface. That the boundary between inner and outer is far more permeable than it appears. They were taught that the body is not a limitation, but an instrument that, brought to the right state of coherence, the state you're moving into right now, in this deep and easeful rest, the body becomes exquisitely sensitive to frequencies and information that are simply unavailable in the ordinary waking state. They were taught that beneath the personality, beneath the thoughts and fears and desires of the everyday self, there is a deeper self, ancient, luminous, connected to everything. The Egyptians called it the Ba, the soul, the true nature, the part of you that existed before you were born and will exist after you leave. Your teacher leads you through corridor after corridor, past walls covered in the most beautiful art, every image a teaching, every colour a frequency. And then she stops before a doorway. In here, she says, is where the deepest work is done. You step inside. The chamber is long and high-ceilinged, its walls of pale limestone. At the far end, an altar of alabaster, and in the space between, a group of priests and priestesses standing in a wide circle, still and silent, their eyes closed. Your teacher gestures to a place within the circle. You take it. A silence, deep, complete. And then, from one of the priests, the tallest, standing directly opposite you, a sound begins. A single tone, so deep it is felt as much as heard, resonating in the limestone walls, in the alabaster altar, in the very air of the room, and in your own chest, your own sternum, the base of your own skull. Then a second voice joins, a different pitch weaving around the first. Then a third, a fourth. The sound builds, layer upon layer, and as it builds, you feel it beginning to work on you, not metaphorically, physically. Your brain waves are shifting. The busy, effortful beta rhythms of the ordinary thinking mind, giving way to the slower, deeper, more coherent alpha and theta rhythms of the meditative state. The state in which the boundary between the conscious and the unconscious mind becomes permeable. The state in which the body's own intelligence can operate without interference. The state in which you can receive directly, immediately, without translation, what the deeper part of you already knows. This is what the mystery schools understood, and what we are only now, with our instruments and our neuroscience, beginning to rediscover, that certain sounds, certain frequencies, certain combinations of tone are not just pleasant, they are functional. They shift the state of the brain. They open doors that are ordinarily closed. The doors are opening now. Let the sound move through you, all the way through, into the bones of your skull, your jaw, your spine, into the chambers of your heart, into the spaces between your cells, where something ancient and luminous already lives and is simply waiting with patience to be acknowledged. The chanting deepens, and as it does, your teacher steps into the circle and stands before you. She places both hands very lightly on your shoulders, and she begins to speak. The ancient ones knew, she says, that the body is not solid. It is frequency. It is vibration. Every organ, every cell, every strand of the living intelligence that you are has its own natural frequency, its own note in the great chord of your being. And when those notes fall out of harmony through stress or grief or the thousand small ways that daily life asks us to be less than we are, the body can be returned to harmony. As she speaks, the chanting shifts. The tones become more specific, and with each shift, you feel, not imagine, not hoped for, but actually feel a different quality of light moving through a different part of you. A deep, rich red rising from the soles of your feet, moving up through your legs, suffusing your whole lower body with a warmth so grounding, so foundational, so absolutely of the earth that you feel for a moment as if you're made of the same red soil as the Egyptian desert outside, rooted, ancient, belonging completely to this earth and this life. Breathe it in. Let every cell in your lower body receive this frequency, returning to its own natural vitality, its own natural strength. The tone shifts. A warm, deep orange now, moving through your abdomen, your hips, the creative center of you, the place where life itself originates, where ideas are born, where the raw energy of existence gathers before it becomes anything, warming, softening, restoring to its natural flow the energy that sometimes gets dammed up, held back, waiting for permission to move. It has permission. Let it flow. The tone shifts again. Now a golden yellow, the colour of the Egyptian sun at noon, the colour of confidence, of personal power, of the self that stands in its own authority and needs no external permission to exist fully. Moving through your solar plexus, your diaphragm, the center of your personal power. Breathe into it. Feel it expand. Feel the part of you that sometimes makes itself small, remembering here in this chamber, in this frequency, that it was never meant to be small. The tone shifts. Now a luminous living green, the colour of growing things, of the Nile Valley in spring, of the heart's own intelligence moving outward into the world, moving through your chest now, your heart, the muscle at your centre that has been beating faithfully without a single moment of rest since before you were born. Feel it receiving this frequency, softening, opening, remembering that it was designed not just to pump blood, but to love, to generate a field of coherence so powerful that it can be measured several feet outside your body. That your heart is not just a muscle, it's a transmitter. And right now, in this frequency, it's broadcasting something extraordinary. The tone shifts. Now, a clear, bright blue, the colour of the Egyptian sky, of the throat that speaks truth, of the voice that has something real to say and the courage to say it. Moving through your throat, your jaw, the places where you have sometimes held back what most needed to be expressed. Softening now, opening, returning to their natural ease. The tone shifts. Now a deep, rich indigo, the colour of the midnight sky above the pyramids, of the inner eye that sees what cannot be seen with the physical gaze, of intuition, of the knowing that arrives before the reasoning, moving through the centre of your forehead, gently, lovingly. The tone shifts one final time. Now, a white gold light, beyond colour now, beyond frequency, simply luminous, pouring down through the crown of your head like the sunlight at Newgrange, like the light of the stars above Stonehenge, moving through every part of you at once, every cell, every space, the whole luminous, intelligent being that you are, suffused from crown to soles with the white gold light of your own deepest nature. The chanting softens to a single sustained tone, deep and warm and steady as a heartbeat. And your teacher moves behind you, and this time gently, with the most precise and loving care, She places her hands not on your shoulders, but on your head. One hand at the crown, one hand at the base of the skull. The warmth is immediate, and it's unlike anything you have felt before. Not the warmth of the body, not the warmth of emotion, the warmth of coherence, of a mind that has been running in a dozen directions at once, carrying the weight of its own complexity. Suddenly, gently, completely arriving. All of it, every thread, every current, every running process, synchronizing, settling into the same rhythm. Your mind is becoming still, not empty, still. There's a great difference. Empty is the absence of something. Still is the presence of everything, held without agitation, without the constant movement and grasping and resisting that the ordinary mind mistakes for thinking. In this stillness, the distance between you and the deepest part of you, that ancient, luminous, unafraid self that the Egyptians called the Ba, is no distance at all. Feel that now. The part of you that watches, that has always been watching, that was present when you were born and will be present when you leave, and is absolutely, serenely, unshakably itself at every moment in between. That is who you are, not the thoughts, not the worries, not the roles you play and the things you carry and the stories you tell about yourself. The one who is aware of all those things. That still, luminous, watching presence. The hands rest there in their quiet, precise, loving steadiness. The coherence deepening with every breath. The stillness becoming something you recognize, not as a foreign state, not as something achieved, but as home. Rest here. The hands rest a little longer, steady, precise, ancient. And then slowly they withdraw, but the stillness remains, the coherence remains, the sense of the watching self, clear, present, unafraid, remains. The chanting comes to its close in a final sustained tone that fades so slowly it becomes indistinguishable from silence. Your teacher stands before you. In her hands, she holds something that unfolds as you watch it, slowly, perfectly, petal by petal. A lotus, pale and luminous and impossibly beautiful. Its petals the white gold of the light that moved through you moments ago. The lotus is the most sacred symbol of ancient Egypt, more sacred even than the ankh in some traditions, because the lotus does something extraordinary. It grows from the mud of the river bottom. It pushes up through the dark water, and it opens each morning in perfect beauty above the surface, its petals clean and bright and untouched by the murk it came from. She places the lotus in your hands. It is warm, it is alive, and as you hold it, it doesn't remain still. It continues to open, petal by petal, as if your hands themselves are the sunlight it has been waiting for. Hold it to your heart. Your teacher walks you back through the corridor of images, past the walls of living hieroglyphs, through the great pillars, and out into the warm Egyptian night. You bow, she bows, and you step out onto the path between the temples, the stars above you, the Nile murmuring somewhere in the dark. You press the lotus to your heart, where the ankh, the star map, the ember, the golden light, and the golden key all rest together, warm and present, and growing into something whole. 6 gifts, 6 journeys. Gently, like a thought becoming clear, your mind lifts up above the temples, up above the Nile, up above the desert and the plateau and the pyramids and the patient, faithful Sphinx. And you turn for home, back through the warm dark, back across the ancient world, back to the room where your body has been resting so peacefully, so faithfully all this while. As you settle softly back, feel the weight of your body, the warmth of it, the miracle of it. Become aware of your breath, the rise and fall of your chest. Feel the surface beneath you, solid, real, here. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a deeper breath in and let it go. And when you're ready, in your own perfect, unhurried time, allow your eyes to gently open. Welcome back, beautiful soul. In our next episode, we leave Egypt and travel to Bolivia, to the extraordinary mystery of Puma Punku, where stones were shaped with a precision that still defies explanation. The builders of light have more to show us. We're only beginning to see it. Until next time, carry your lotus. Namaste.